Israel did a huge military exercise last month. The London papers reported that it was a drill for an attack on Iran. Now, since that time, there's been a lot of various comments by U.S. and Israeli officials, named and unnamed, that an attack is imminent. That has prompted Iran to fire off. Yesterday it was 9 missiles. They were firing off missiles again last night. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard commander saying that if Israel or the United States attacks, they're going to turn the Middle East into a ball of fire and rain down missiles on Tel Aviv and Israel, and go after U.S. interests throughout the Middle East. Do you think that we are approaching this confrontation? I'm talking about we, the United States and Israel, are we about to pull the trigger and go after Iran?
Well, as the Bible told us, there'll be wars and rumors of wars. Whether this is part of the rumors of wars, we do not know. We do not fully know. But however, what we do know is that Iran will attack Israel, and it will be coming with several other nations in its war on Israel. This should give us a confirmation. In fact, this is the best confirmation to anyone who's listening that the Bible is true, that what it warned us way long time ago of the events that are culminating in front of our own eyes is in fact true, that Christians in America are not trying to fulfill the Bible, that the enemies of the Bible are the ones that fulfill the very things that the Bible predicted that are evil.
And Walid, are you basing that prediction on Ezekiel, that Ezekiel 38 is a prophecy of an attack on the nation of Israel?
This is only one half of the puzzle. There's another half of the puzzle that people rarely even look at, which is Ezekiel 28 to 32, in which Antichrist, even Satan, is cast into the pit alongside with several other nations mentioned in the Bible, all of which are Muslim. There is Elam and all her multitude. Elam is Iran, perfect, right on. There is Meshech and Tubal. There is, Turkey is there also. So the picture is going to grow further than this. The flexing of the muscles and the confidence build-up that we in the West are causing by not retaliating immediately to the threat of Iran is going to build a confidence level for the Islamists. This is the mistake that the West has been doing for a while. When Israel attacks Lebanon, Condoleezza Rice says that we have to have cessation of hostilities. This, in fact, emboldens the Islamists. You have Iran influencing Lebanon. Let's not forget, Lebanon is mentioned very clearly in the Bible. In fact, the Bible clearly even says that the Messiah himself will destroy Lebanon. In Isaiah chapter 10, verse 34, Lebanon shall fall by the mighty one. The mighty one is the Messiah. Very rare in the West they would look at these verses and contemplate on the wealth of the Bible that I've discovered when I was reading it as a Muslim. Reading it, knowing that many verses in the Bible, the Messiah is fighting Muslim nations. In Habakkuk chapter 3, he is fighting Midian, the brother of Ishmael. This is Arabia. And alongside with Cush, which is Sudan, Somalia, those nations, Messiah himself, pestilence comes out of his feet and all these things. He's going there to fight these elements. In Isaiah chapter 63, the Lord fights Edom. His garments are sprinkled with blood. Edom, in Ezekiel 25, extends from Timan to Dedan. Dedan is the heart of the Arab world. So no serious scholar of the Bible can refute that the Messiah personally is fighting Muslim nations. It's not that the Bible and God forgot to warn us about what's coming ahead. It is that we as believers forgot to heed to God's instruction, very careful instruction that is not one jot or one tittle will be eliminated from these prophecies in the Bible. So this is the part that I am providing in God's War and Terror, in which is very rarely even recognized or even addressed by the Western scholars of Bible prophecy. What I bring in is an Eastern perspective, that the Bible is an Eastern manuscript, that it has an Eastern connotation, that it's Eastern-centric, not a Western-centric document, that is lot of ways. So, however, I'm not refuting the Western analyst. I respect them very well. All what I am saying is that we need to adjust our focus on where the Bible is trying to address, because the Western-centric basically believes that the imminent danger is coming from Western Europe, when in fact Western Europe is rarely mentioned in the Bible.
Well, Lee, do you believe that the United States and or Israel should attack Iran in a preemptive attack?
Absolutely. They need to diminish the strengths of Iran when it comes to nuclear. Ahmadinejad made it very clear. We should take the threats of Ahmadinejad as we've taken the threats of Adolf Hitler. If Adolf Hitler in the past threatened to attack, the rest of the Western regions, and he did, in the Munich Accord, you had the Chamberlain wanted to extend peace with Hitler. This did not work. We have now a political arena that is saying that we need to sit down with our enemies. Well, this is true. We should sit down with our enemies depending on who the enemy is. If the enemy was a Hitler-like enemy, then the demand should be a complete surrender. It is not the problem that a nation holds nuclear weapons, because there are many Western nations that hold nuclear weapons. And the Islamists are arguing, why can't we have nuclear? The question is not the gun. The question is the trigger-happy that is holding this gun. So we have a trigger-happy kind of a government that is willing to unleash catastrophe on Israel. And it has control of the entire region once the U.S. pulls out of Iraq. And there is this whole movement in America demanding the pull out of Iraq. If we pull out of Iraq, 65% of Iraqis are Shia. And then let's not forget, Syria is a Alawite government. It's a Shia regime. So the Shiites from Iran extends its power from Iran to Iraq, to Syria, to Lebanon, right to the northern borders of Israel. We have a huge military war machine in Lebanon. So what we need to do is look at the full picture and not only at the picture of Iran alone. Westerners have a tendency to be focused or tunnel visioned on a single issue. It is a much bigger issue than this. These are not terror organizations. This has been my argument for years. What the West calls radical Islam is not simply an organization. It's not simply Al-Qaeda. Iran is not an organization. Sudan is not an organization. Turkey is not an organization. These are states. These are states that are willing to unify themselves to make a front to fight not just Israel, but the Christian world as well. Why? Because in the mindset of the Muslims, it was the West, it was Christendom that bruised the beast of Islam. This is why you see many Muslim radicals, when they speak, they say the world came to know that Islam is the truth, that the giant of Islam will rise again. Why do they say the word again? Because this is a system that was wounded by the Christians. And this is why they want to destroy Christianity.
Do you believe that the Muslims confuse Roman Catholicism with Christianity because of the Crusades? It was the papacy and Roman Catholicism that led to Crusades against Islam. So when Muslims think of Christianity, do they automatically think of the Pope?
No, they think of the whole of Christianity. They do not care whether you're Protestant or whether you're Catholic.
Well, that's the point I'm trying to make, that Protestants are put into the same pot because it was the Roman Catholic Church that led the Crusades against the Muslims.
Well, we need to think of it again. We need to think at the bigger picture. They're not simply thinking about the Crusades only, although that is used as an argument by the Islamists. They are thinking of Great Britain when it took over the Muslim world. You have to understand, the Ottoman Empire was dismantled in 1928, the last caliphate. The caliph in Islam is the vicar of Muhammad, just as what Catholics consider the Pope being the vicar of Christ. So this vicarious, or this position of the caliph, is exactly what they're trying to reinstitute. Now again, we must understand Islamic eschatology, which I delve into deeply in this book. Westerners need to begin to understand and learn more about Islamist eschatology, in which they